There were some questions on the conference call about the company pivoting. Do you care to comment on that?
There is no pivot. We're putting the pieces together within the strategy that we put together a couple of years ago. The primary focus right now is training the installers. Train, measure, and make sure those leading indicators to the market are growing. That is the partnership with DPC. That's where the revenue is going to come from. We did talk about in the earnings call VPP and recurring revenue. And this is something that we've always had in the strategic plan. However, it's not one or the other. It's in addition to. So we expect to see self-consumers buy through their local installer who buys through the local distributor. That's set, that's going. However, we've fully integrated the Eguana Cloud, which opens up recurring revenue. We're now in some VPP pilots in the US, Australia, and Canada, which will generate recurring revenue. That's future state. The bulk of the focus right now is US distribution. And of course, we can talk about Europe and we can talk about Australia, but if I just focus on the US for the time being, there's absolutely no pivoting coming from the company, but there are going to be software-driven revenue streams, very small at first. These are still in pilot stages. So we are going to let the shareholders know, yes, we are accelerating Eguana Cloud. We do anticipate being in recurring revenue streams this year. Originally, it was planned for the second half of 2024. And we do expect to see utility pilots come out. Now, how does the utility get engaged through the distribution channel? A utility may say, I have my favorite installer. They're trained by Eguana already. They may still buy from distribution. That's not the big piece of VPP. The piece of VPP and what I said on the earnings call relative to mass adoption was the utility can subsidize the homeowner. So let's say I'm the utility, you're the homeowner. I want you to have an energy storage system on your house that I can access from time to time so that I can manage frequency on the grid. And I know if I manage frequency on the grid, my costs come down on management of that grid. As the utility, I make more money. Because of that, I say to Steve, the homeowner, I'm going to give you $3,000 if you put this system on your house. That's what's coming through VPP. So it's not a pivot from distribution to virtual power plant. It's continue the demand generation through distribution, train as many installers as we can. As VPP pilots start coming in, make sure our technology is in those pilots and active, because that allows the recurring revenue stream. Now, let's say you already had a system that you purchased from your local installer from a distributor. I can still come in and say, Steve, you're in an area where we're putting on this virtual power plant. We noticed that you have solar and storage. We'd like to have access to your battery from time to time. We can still credit you the $3,000 and have access to that and bring your system into the VPP, even though you've had it for 1 or 2 or 3 years. So it's not one or the other. One literally lays on top of the other, and it's an additional channel and additional revenues on top of what we're currently doing.